Okay, so welcome. Today we're doing an adventure setting call where I talk about the three-step system that we use for behavior change. I'm just going to have everyone mute their screen. Perfect. Before we start. Good. All good. All good. So how I'd like to start this meeting is with a little bit of a vagal toning exercise. So if everyone can find a comfortable seat and put the pen and papers away, and start to rub your palms together and make a little bit of noise between the hands. Let's rub the palms together and then sit back into your chair. You can place your hands somewhere on your body or let your hands rest on your legs. Everyone take a deep breath in through your nose. Lower your eyelids, open your mouth, and let out a big AH sound. Ah, audible ah, AH, ah. Feel the opening in the back of the throat. Let's do that twice more. Inhale through your nose. Feel the hands on the body. Open the mouth. Big AH, ah, ah. One more time. Audible ah sound. Open the back of your throat. Feel the vibration underneath your hands. Big ah, ah. Open the jaw, ah. Second sound we make is the sound of ooh. Really make the O shape with the lips, working the musculature of the face. Inhale from your nose. Pucker the lips and ooh, ooh. Let the air be pushed out through that O-shaped lip formation. Ooh. Relax your shoulders and your jaw. Twice more for a total of 3 times. Big breath in through your nose. Get taller, sit up a little longer. Big ooh, press it out from your belly. Ooh, the base of your belly. Ooh. Like the first sips of coffee in the morning. Delicious sound of ooh. Inhale. Ooh. The third sound we make is a hum. I want everyone to spread your fingers wide, place them on your belly. Big breath in from your nose. Hum, hum, sealing the lips at the end. Hum. Drop your shoulders, relax your jaw. Hum. Do it twice more for a total of 3. Big breath in from your nose. Maybe smile. One more time. Play with the position of your tongue in your mouth as you hum. As you hum, press the roof of your mouth. Hum. Relax the roof of your mouth. Keep humming. Press the roof of your mouth and relax the roof of your mouth. And notice how you can change the tonality of your hum just by pressurizing the roof of your mouth. Mm. Relax the arms behind your head. Interlace all 10 fingers. The second vagal toning technique we do engages the visual cortex, the optic nerve. Everyone open your eyes and without moving your head, just like this with your hands behind your head, really gently. Press your head back into your hands slightly so the chin is pulled back. And let's all move our eyes to the right without moving your head. Try to see your right elbow, looking to the right, and breathe. Notice any sensations to blink, to swallow. It's challenging to keep the eyes looking to the right. You have to use focus, mental focus, to keep the eyes looking to the right. We're here for about 30 seconds. So really try to keep the head pressing back gently into your hands. Elbows are opening and there's a stretch in the chest. And you're breathing in and out through your nose this time, just as normal. But the eyes, really reach your eyes to the right. Try to see your eyes at your right elbow. Take another breath in from your nose and out. If you wear glasses, you can always do this with or without glasses. Move your eyes to the left. But I do encourage you to do it the same on both the left and to the right. Keep your eyes to the left without moving your head. This side is more challenging for most people because it's 2 reasons. It's the second side, but it's also the parasympathetic side of the nervous system. So this is the restful and the digestible side. As you're looking to the left, you're trying to focus, which heightens your awareness. So there's this duality going on. You're breathing in and out through your nose. Your body is starting to auto-regulate itself as you look to the left. Try to keep your eyes to the left. And your head is centered. So the head doesn't move, just the eyes. And your visual focus increases your mental focus. So as you stay here, it becomes a little bit easier for you to really reach your eyes to the left. Looking to the left for another about 10 seconds. Breathing in from your nose, out through your nose, and welcome yourself to swallow, to blink. Don't deny yourself these automatic responses to our eye movements, engaging the vagus nerve. And then come back to the center. Let your eyes ordinate back to the normalcy of looking straight. And then relax your arms down by your side. So in just a moment, I'm going to share my screen and open up a PowerPoint. Actually, it's not a PowerPoint, but it's a presentation. So with this, I encourage you to use some of these techniques. You guys are all muted throughout the presentation. It won't take the entire hour. Look up from your screen. You can still hear what I'm saying. I won't move that quickly, so the screen will still be there. But it's important during these calls, during these Zoom calls, that you're not staring necessarily at the blue light or at the screen the whole time. So use these techniques, and we call them peacekeeping techniques in my system, Get Fit Smarter, and they're based in polyvagal theory. So they're based in regulating the nervous system. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about them today and how you use them in creating new habit formation. So if anyone has anything specific that comes up, put it in the chat, and that way I can answer the question or write it down. Because at the end of the presentation, I'm going to ask you a couple questions, which are, how are you going to apply these techniques? What was relatable? What resonated with you? So really try to engage with the material personally, so that way it makes more sense, and you have some good takeaways, some good tools to use when you leave here today, because that's the whole point. So let's share my screen. So here is our adventure setting. Great. Everyone can see my screen. Thumbs up. Super duper. It's a great mountain. So a lot of you guys know I love to mountaineer, I love to climb mountains. So that's why I make this metaphor. But there's a very literal metaphor that we're going to make today, which has to do with the chemicals that are made during exercise and during anticipation of an event. So right now, what we just did is, what's on the agenda for the next hour is we set our vagal tone. So the vagal tone is very important because it's what helps regulate our nervous system. It's what helps transition us from stress to non-stress. So we all know that most of our decisions that we make come from a trained response, and that response is trained when we're adolescents. And so it's really important that we dissect and understand what our base is before we go up the mountain. And how we do that is we're going to do that through a visualization, and visualize ourselves what we want to be in 60 days from now. How do we want to feel, and bring ourselves to an elevated emotion. So I want you to think about 60 days. We're going to do this twice. So right now, as your adult self, before we do the visualization, think about 60 days from now, if you could have exactly what you wanted, whether that's adopting a better habit, maybe a better morning routine, a better coping mechanism to stress, losing a certain number of pounds, losing a certain inches around the waist. Maybe it's a piece of cloth that you want to wear. Maybe it's like a fabric that you want to be able to wear. Think about what it is 60 days from now. Maybe it's a money goal, but I mean, oriented around fitness, that you want to have 60 days from now. And you can write it down or visualize it. We're going to do this a little bit deeper in just a moment. And now I'm going to ask you to close your eyes again. It'll be the second time today, probably second out of 3 times. And we're going to do a little meditation. It'll take about 5 minutes. So be comfortable. If you prefer, you can lay on the floor. And have your pen and paper close by, because after this visualization, you're going to write down something immediately after the visualization. So just find your eyes closed and get into a very comfortable position where you won't feel any urge to fidget for the next 5 to 7 minutes. Start to tune into your breath, breathing in from your nose and out through your nose. And notice the normal cadence of your breath. Let's start to embark on a journey of self-discovery and empowerment, tapping into the essence of satisfaction and accomplishment within ourselves. Whether you're sitting down or lying down, close your eyes gently. Breathe in deeply. Allow the air to fill your lungs and exhale slowly, releasing any tension or stress you may be holding on to. With each breath, feel yourself sinking deeper into a state of relaxation and tranquility. Now imagine yourself laying on a bed of green ferns bedded down in a tall, treed forest. Imagine yourself surrounded by a warm and radiant light, a light that represents the pure essence of satisfaction and accomplishment. Feel its gentle glow enveloping you, soothing your mind and calming your spirit. Breathing in from your nose, feel the space between your body and the ground, between your body and your seat. As you breathe out, let yourself sink deeper into this safe space, knowing that you're fully supported here. Feel the gentle glow of warm, radiant light enveloping you, soothing your mind and calming your spirit as you breathe in and slowly breathe out. Feel this light behind your throat, relaxing your neck and your shoulders. As you bask in this luminous energy, let your awareness drift inward, connecting with the truest essence of who you are residing in your chest. Visualize yourself standing tall like the trees, embodying confidence and radiating a sense of inner peace and fulfillment. As your body, your chest, your throat, your forehead beam with this radiant light. With each breath, feel a wave of sensation wash over you, filling every cell of your being with a deep sense of contentment and joy. Allow yourself to be fully embraced by this feeling, knowing that you are worthy and deserving of all the blessings life has to offer. Anchor yourself in this feeling of satisfaction and accomplishment within your own body. Imagine a symbol or image that represents your highest aspirations and deepest desires. It could be a vibrant sunset, symbolizing the end of one chapter and the beginning of a new journey. Or perhaps it's a blooming flower, symbolizing growth, renewal, and the unfolding of your true potential. As you hold this symbol of renewal in your mind's eye, repeat the following silently in your mind. I am worthy of success and fulfillment. I am worthy of success and fulfillment. I am worthy of success and fulfillment. I embrace the journey of growth and self-discovery. I embrace the journey of growth and self-discovery. I embrace the journey of growth and self-discovery. I trust in my abilities to overcome challenges and achieve my goals. I trust in my abilities to overcome challenges and achieve my goals. I trust in my abilities to overcome challenges and achieve my goals. I celebrate my accomplishments, big and small, with gratitude and joy. I celebrate my accomplishments, big and small, with gratitude and joy. I celebrate my accomplishments, big and small, with gratitude and joy. With each repetition, feel the power of these words resonating within you, anchoring themselves deep within your subconscious mind. Allow them to become a guiding light, illuminating your path toward greater fulfillment and happiness. Now, take a moment to reflect on all that you've accomplished and achieved in your life so far. Celebrate your successes, no matter how small or insignificant they may seem. Each achievement is a testament to your strength, resilience, and determination. Remember how you've overcome obstacles and challenges in the past. As you bask in the glow of your accomplishments, feel a sense of pride and satisfaction welling up within you. You are a powerful creator, capable of manifesting your dreams and shaping your reality according to your deepest desires. Know that this feeling of satisfaction and accomplishment is always within you, ready to be accessed whenever you need it. It is the essence of who you are, a beacon of light guiding you toward your highest potential. Take a few more deep breaths, soaking in the energy of satisfaction and accomplishment that surrounds you. Now imagine waking up 60 days from now, stepping out of your bed to stand. What do you want to do 60 days from now that brings you and keeps you in this state of satisfaction and joy? What types of choices will you make this day? What will you eat for breakfast? What kinds of clothing and activities will you plan? Who will you see on this day? How does it feel to walk in your body? Know that you are deserving and worthy of success. How does that lead you to choose differently from a place of alignment, of honoring your true self, your true essence? Remembering all of the obstacles that you have faced from now until 60 days from now, feeling a sense of pride for overcoming the challenges that you will face from now to 60 days from now. See yourself on top of that mountain. You are worthy as you continue on this journey of self-discovery. What types of things won't you do this day, 60 days from now? What activities and demonstrations won't you take part in that are no longer part of you, that are no longer the essence of who you are? How will you decide differently 60 days from now? Remember, you are worthy and you are capable and you are enough. Embrace the power of satisfaction and accomplishment within yourself and watch as these miracles unfold in your life. 60 days from now, see yourself as who you want to be, choosing from a sense of light, allowing this light to guide you throughout your day. Hold this image of yourself in this state of accomplishment 60 days from now as you start to breathe deeper into your body. Hold this image and this feeling warming through your body, the sensation, the vibration, the electricity that's being sent from your face all the way down through your toes. Knowing that you're deserving of who you want to become, living in your highest potential, in the body that you want to achieve, as the person who you want to be, you deserve to be. Start to rub the palms together as I count down from 3, bringing a smile onto your face. feeling this joy and happiness well inside your body, feeling how you are connected now to the self that you are becoming 60 days from now. For two, rubbing the palms, holding the image in your mind 60 days from now, that person that you want to become, that self-discovered and that growing beautiful person of who you are. Bring a big, big smile onto your face. And when I say one, we clap the hands and open the eyes for one. I want you to write down, take a moment on a piece of paper and write down the feeling, the image, the person that you want to become or that you see yourself being 60 days from now. And write down, you can draw a picture, you can write down the words, you can write down the colors. Maybe you witnessed the weather, the people, the choices that you made, how you decided to spend your day. And just write this down. This is your summit self. This is your highest self, who you are at the top of the mountain after you've overcome some of the obstacles that maybe you're facing now. Seeing yourself on the other side, on top of the mountain, is the first step of being able to approach some of the challenges that we face, whether it's habits, food, relationships, all of these things. It's important to believe that we can achieve a different reality, that we are deserving. That is the first step. Once you wrote that down, I'm going to show you a image of a presentation that I did recently, and I'll make this available on School for you guys who are on School. So this is just from a presentation that we did recently. So the desire to go do something different is there's a neurochemical. And so after doing something like this, a meditation, we're a little bit more motivated. There's actually times a day too that desire is higher, dopamine is higher, and that's in the morning. So there are actions that we take to better health, and those actions need to start in the morning because the desire to change and to do something different is the highest in the morning, and that is because dopamine is the highest in the morning. And so some of you guys who've been working with me know that we practiced something called swoma, and swoma is let's go back to here. Swoma is um I skipped a little bit. Yeah, is where we anchor ourselves in the morning. So we're gonna add sunlight here. Sunlight. So these are very simple ways to anchor yourself in the emotion of safe. Why that's important when you're trying to change a habit or a behavior. The reason why we're doing the same thing over and over again is because it's essentially signaling to the brain that we're safe. So it doesn't matter whether your habit is good for your health or not, it's a habit. And habit formation is associated with safety. So if I drank Coca-Cola every morning when I woke up and I spiked my blood sugar, it's not good for me and actually creates anxiety. High sugar spiking creates anxiety. However, it's a very difficult habit to break if I've been drinking that soda for over 6 weeks. Because what the brain also does is every time I drink that soda after I formed a habit, which takes 6 weeks to form a habit, consistent input for 6 weeks forms a habit. So for 6 weeks, every other day, I'm drinking a Coca-Cola. If I try to stop that, the brain says, what the heck? What the heck's going on? There's something different here, and that's not cool. I need the soda. And so my brain's going to try to get me to drink the soda, even though I know this brain, my front brain, my adult brain knows that soda is not good for me to drink in the morning. Drinking sugar, even juice, is not good for me to drink in the morning. And so, but the primal brain, the survival brain, which communicates back here, is saying, no, you need the soda because that's what you do. You have it all the time. And because you're still alive, that means that that soda is probably helping keeping you alive, even though it's killing you slowly. So a habit is anything that you've been doing consistently for 6 weeks. And when you try to break that habit, the brain does not like it. And it says, whoop, nope, you got to keep doing what you're doing because we like pattern, we like ritual, we like routine. So, one of the best ways to start intersecting habit is something we call sunlight, water, anchor, movement, meditation, and oxygen. It's so funny because when I made this presentation, I put anchor third, and I'm going to put anchor last because you guys know that have been working with me. Sunlight, we actually call it swama. So sunlight, water, oxygen, movement, meditation, anchor. That's the first step to breaking a habit is you go outside in the morning, you get sunlight in your eyes. The signals to your brain circadian rhythm, and it starts your biological clock. That means that you are more awake, you're going to be producing serotonin, you're going to be in a better mood, you're going to be more motivated to choose the behavior that you want to choose, not the behavior that you're used to doing, the new one, the one that you want to do. This also affects metabolism, this whole routine here. The next thing is water. Why water? Well, your brain needs water to communicate electricity and with hormones. So in order for you to, again, communicate with this prefrontal cortex, this is the part of the brain that's new, that's been newly developed. This is the one that says, I'm going to eat kale because I know it has K vitamin. I know it has zinc in it, and I know that's good for my body. So I'm going to eat kale. Does it taste good? No, that's why we can we can convince ourselves to like certain foods through our prefrontal cortex. It's very cool. I'm not going to go too deep into that, but you can convince yourself to like something because of the benefits that it has. And so that's where being able to convince yourself to do something consistently for 6 weeks, then your body craves it. Now my body's craving kale because I've convinced myself to like it, and there's actual truth behind that. When I eat it, and I've told my brain that it has these nutrients, and then I eat it, and then the body gets those nutrients. Well, that's called symbiosis of that prefrontal cortex and that survival instinct, which also responds to micronutrients. So you want to get sunlight in the morning. You want to drink water. You must take 3 deep breaths in the morning. Why? Because your breath inflates your posture and stacks your head over your shoulders, where that spinal cord needs communication into the brain. So you take 5 breaths in the morning. The next is movement. Why movement in the morning? So one of the things that happens is cortisol is very, very high in the morning. And by moving, that movement helps lower cortisol. You don't have to do a full-blown workout, but moving around for 30 minutes is important. So the last thing is meditation. This can be you can be seated meditation. You can do a different types of meditation. You can do what I like to say is you could do a Buddhist meditation, which is making your bed and just making your bed. So you're just making your bed. You're not thinking about anything else. You're taking the time, that 5 minutes, to do something meditative. Some people attach meditation with like a coffee ritual. I think it's better to do a meditation that doesn't have anything associated with it. So like you can do a meditation with your breakfast, that's great, but do a meditation that doesn't have food or caffeine attached to it. So either sitting or going for a walk or making your bed. And meditation is anything that you're aware of. And anchoring is the last thing. That's what you just did. You just anchored yourself in a positive emotion. So you can bring yourself back there. So this whole thing acts as a filter. And if you do this consistently, so consistently is 3 to 5 times a week, ideally every day for 6 weeks. But if you can do it 4 to 5 times, 3 to 5 times, we'll say 3 to 5 times a week. You are winning if you do it for 6 weeks. It'll change your metabolism. It'll change the way that you are satisfied by certain behaviors. So that way you're not seeking for the old behaviors to satisfy you. Because ultimately, if we're doing something that doesn't make sense to us anymore, it's because we have this false sense of security. Either smoking a cigarette, we have a false sense of security. Eating something sugary has false sense of security. Not exercising false sense of security. So it's because we've attached emotions to our habits. And so in order to detach our emotions for our habits, we have to insert a morning routine that helps keep dopamine high. So we're motivated to do something. If these all help train dopamine to channel our focus. When you meditate, you become more clear. When you move around, you lower cortisol. When you breathe, you create more connection to the brain. So I'm going to go back up to the top a little bit. So now you guys know why that's like really, really important. So I'm going to back up and just talk about I identify. So instead of goals, I like to talk about adventure. So you came to this session either already having a goal or like wanting to understand better how to define it. So what makes an adventure an adventure is an adventure is motivated through curiosity. You have become curious to do something different. So it's better to move from a place of curiosity than from fear, because fear, we don't ever reach the summit. If we do, we're blacked out. We're reaching the summit but we're blacked out. We don't actually see ourselves when we reach that summit. So when you're undertaking a new behavior and it's maybe risky because there's change involved, look at it as an adventure, because you're curious to do something different, that you want to do something different and be excited to do that different. So adrenaline is something we're going to talk a little bit about today too, which is necessary to release stored fat in the body. And why that's important is a lot of emotional trauma, emotional stress is stored in fat. That is because fat storage goes up when a few things happen. Either blood sugar is too high, chronically too high. We feel unsafe. And when we feel unsafe, the body stores fat because fat is the best source of stored fuel. And so in order to have a reserve of fuel, body needs to store onto fat. So it happens when blood glucose is chronically spiking. We keep spiking sugar, the body starts to sequester those sugars and store it as fat, so we stay alive. Another way to interpret that is body is trying to survive. It keeps getting spikes of blood sugar and it needs to survive, so it needs to store fat. What happens when blood sugar comes down is it drops and the body thinks that it's starving. And so then we confirm our fat storage. We say, well, good thing that we held on to that fat because we need energy, because now the blood sugar is plummeting. But what happens when it plummets is we need to take it back up. So one of the best things that you can do when you're trying to create new routine, new habit, and a better metabolism is by balancing blood sugar levels. Because when blood sugars are peaking and valleying, the brain is depressed, anxious, depressed, anxious, depressed. It's high and low, high and low. And we are looking, always striving to find harmony. And how we find harmony is however we've been trained as adolescents. Is it with food? Is it with smoking? Is it with leaning on someone's shoulder? Is it by going for a run? Is it by exercising? How do we find harmony within our bodies? When there's disharmony, when we're peaking and valleying from blood sugar spiking, then we're going to try our best to do what we've learned as teenagers, as adolescents, to find harmony. And those things they don't always do us service as adults. At least for me, I was taught food was how to distract yourself and how to find harmony. And so eating was a way of finding harmony, but that doesn't actually help blood sugar, does it? Because that could actually just keep that peak and valley, peak and valley. So there's better ways. And it starts with that morning ritual of getting the sunlight, of setting the circadian rhythm. The blood sugar balances on its own actually in the morning. There's a little bit of a squirt of blood sugar when we wake up. It happens with cortisol. Cortisol goes up, blood sugar starts to rise. That's because we've evolved this way. We need some blood sugar in the morning to get ourselves going. So it goes up. You don't need to eat first thing in the morning. If you eat first thing in the morning, you spike blood sugar. The only place it can go is then down. And now we're looking to find harmony. So what do we need? We need more sugar, or we need more coffee, or we need more energy. So keeping that status quo right in the morning is really important. That's why we move. Cortisol is the hormone that's released by stress. When is it the highest? In the morning. What's the second highest? Well, you can probably tell me. When is your stress the highest? Is it on the phone within your insurance company? Is it going to a social outing that's that maybe you don't necessarily want to go to. Maybe stress is high. They make these great devices now that track your stress levels. And I know for me, for my partner, our stress goes up when we're in traffic. That's like the next highest place that stress levels are. And so there's a few ways of understanding what stress feels like. Stress also affects your blood sugar. So stress could feel like, wow, I'm feeling depressed all of a sudden. Well, that could be because of chronic stress. Um, the other thing that it does is it creates inflammation. When our bodies feel achy and sticky and inflamed, if we can't sleep at night, this can be because of chronic stress. So, in a previous workshop, we talked about dysregulation of the gut microbiome. Cortisol causes Too much cortisol causes dysregulation in the gut microbiome, which you guys know who are on that workshop causes a whole bunch of problems. But cortisol is also good. We also need cortisol. So why do we need cortisol is released when you exercise? How many of you guys feel stressed when you exercise? I hope you feel stressed when you exercise. You're supposed to. It's healthy stress, right? Heart rate goes up, cortisol goes up, and the body becomes inflamed. What's important is that we come away from these stressful bouts. So I want you to just take a deep breath in, look away from your screen, and let out a big ah sound. Ah. If you can look outside and see a bird or see the color green, then you're going to de-stress even more. Take a deep breath in. Let out a big ooh sound. Ooh. Reach your arms above your head and take a big breath in and stretch up. Get some blood flow and exhale, shake it out. Shake it out. Moving blood through the body helps lower the cortisol, the stress hormone. That's why the M in SWOMA, movement, move your body to lower the stress hormone. We could talk about sauna and all those other things. I'm just going to talk about stress hormone. So regular exercise is what teaches the body how to use cortisol. Cortisol has to peak. It's going to peak in the morning. So when should you do some exercise? In the morning. That's why movement is part of SWOMA. Move your body, go outside, go for a walk, because cortisol is naturally going to be the highest in the morning, and that's when you want to do your workout. You're also training your brain in the morning, right? Like we talked about. So one of the things we use in Get Fit Smarter is interval training, is using high intensity interval training. And that's going to be for another workshop because I can talk hours about the exercise protocols. So one of the best ways to train yourself with adrenaline and with cortisol, so retraining your stress response, is by using interval training, by getting your heart rate really high for a short period of time and then bringing it down, getting it high and then bringing it down, getting it high and then bringing it down. Another way is through resistance training, right? If you lift weights, you know how important inflammation is for hypertrophy, for the muscles to get big and for them to get strong. We need inflammation. Inflammation is our response to stress. That stress can be healthy stress, like breaking down muscle tissue when you're lifting weights. And then it becomes inflamed, it becomes puffy. But what's important is drinking water, eating healthy, so that inflammation gets flushed away, going and taking a hot bath, going in sauna, getting moving again, right? Need to mobilize and flush out the inflammation daily. Daily, I'm talking about. This helps you decide from a higher brain point of view. All of these things are very basic, but they keep your brain protected, keep your gray matter growing, so you can set new goals and achieve who you want to be 60 days from now, because there are obstacles from the base of the mountain, which is exercise, movement, belief systems, and drinking water and having oxygen. All these things are things that you do when you're at the base of the mountain and you pack your bag. You don't go up the mountain without a plan, being thoughtless or being reckless. You accept at the base of the mountain that there's going to be obstacles and struggles. And so you pack your bag every morning, you go outside, you see the sunlight, you set yourself up, you prime your brain to decide from a higher place of thinking. So you can actually be present when you see that obstacle and say, no, I'm only going to have half of the piece of cake. Who you are. I'm only going to have half of the piece of cake because I know I'm going to choose from a higher place. I don't need the whole thing. I don't need the whole thing. And then I'm going to make a new plan and say, what can I do differently next time? And so all of these things help you prepare and keep your brain clear and focused. So I want you to draw a pyramid right now, a little triangle, a base of your mountain, and write down SWOMA, write down sunlight, water, oxygen. But now I want you to write down specifically what movement are you going to do in the morning? For some of you guys, maybe it's the 10-minute video, maybe it's the 20-minute workout, video that we do and get fit smarter. Maybe it's a 30-minute one. Maybe you're going to go outside and walk the dog. What is your movement? It's got to be 30 minutes of movement. Some days it's doing errands around the house, doing the laundry. As long as it's nothing on your phone, right? The thumb exercises don't count as movement. Mostly in the legs. We want to be in the legs. So something standing, walking. Today we did a Kriya in yoga and it's squats. We do squats for 3 minutes. So it doesn't have to look, perfect all the time. It's as long as you're moving for 30 minutes. The next one is meditation. I want you to write down what is your meditation practice. It's got to be between 4 and 9 minutes. So you guys know everything I do is based in neuroscience. So that's why I have very specific timing and it's all research based. So it's the meditation has to be between 4 minutes to do anything to the brain right now. That's what the studies show. The sweet spot is really that 11, 20 minutes. If you can do that, that's like really the sweet spot, but bare minimum 4 minutes. And now, how are you going to anchor yourself? There's a few ways you can anchor yourself in satisfaction and joy. Sometimes it's a song. We're very sensitive beings. So it could be a song that makes you dance and brings you into that place of joy. It can be, if you are a very strong creator, it could be looking at something aesthetically or visualizing something, just visualizing that meditation. I'm a huge fan of Joe Dispenza's morning meditation. It's about 20 minutes long. So I combine anchoring and meditation and I listen to his morning meditation or I dance. Those are mine. They can be yours too. So if you want that meditation, I can send it to you. It's on Spotify after. Um, so it's important for you to understand what your base of the mountain looks and how to pack your bag and what your map looks like. The next thing is, what obstacles you're going to face in the next 60 days. I mean, it's summer, so all of us are going to face, I think 4th of July is going to fall in there, in that obstacles, probably family events and social gatherings. It's important right now to write those down in the middle of the mountain. These are things that kind of stress you out, and there's good stress and then there's bad stress. And we typically, we either succumb to the bad stress or we avert it. We avoid it altogether. And instead we can prepare for it. We can plan. We can say, okay, I'm going to make sure I practice my meditation. I'm going to do my exercises. I'm going to drink water. So I'm in my higher brain when this obstacle happens, because I know it's going to happen within the next 2 weeks, next 3 weeks, next 4 weeks. It's going to happen. And so you begin to plan for it. And what's important in the middle of the mountain that you also write, what exercises are you going to do within these 60 days? Something that going to get your heart rate up, going to make you sweat, stretch, and strengthen. What can you implement regularly, 3 times a week, at least 20 minutes, that is going to get you sweating, whether it's sauna, whether it's interval training, whether it's strength training, whether it's cycling? What's going to get your heart rate up healthy, consciously, so you're a better adapter to stress. So that's your mountain in the middle of your mountain. And then on the top of your mountain, you actually already did this. When we did the summit meditation, you wrote down your summit self. You wrote down who you wanted to be. So you can put that on the top of your pyramid. So there's a few more things and I can send this to you guys too, so you have it. So you have your mountain, and I'm going to encourage you to refine your mountain, get more specifically, but here are things that are going to help you for the middle of the mountain. Okay. So Exercise regularly. Intermittent fasting. Actually, May is a great time to try longer windows of fasting. If you work with me with online coaching, we can talk about that. Eating nutrient-rich foods, prioritizing sleep quality. So you guys can read these, get sunlight exposure, all of these things in the upgrade. They actually upgrade a chemical in the brain called brain-derived neurotrophic factor. It's a big word, but it's what is in high amounts when you're adolescents and a teenager. Remember, I told you that our stress, the way that we understand stress and um, the way that we seek pain and reward, it's trained when we're adolescents and teenagers. And it's because BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, is the highest then. And until about, I want to say until about like 10 years ago, neuroscientists didn't think that you could increase it anymore. But now we know actually what decreases it and what increases it. One of the things decreasing it is age. However, you can increase it. If you go on that left side column, all of these things increase BDNF. Why do you care about increased BDNF? It's associated with lower depression, faster metabolic rate, better sleep quality, easier to make changes. It is literally the thing that protects the neural connections in your brain. The thing that decreases it, if you haven't already read it, is on the right side. This is what makes going up the mountain extremely difficult. I mean, literally and metaphorically. Facing obstacles is really hard when you're subject to chronic stress. You just want to say, F it, F it. I'm not going to do that today. I'm not going to work out today. I've had a long day. I have a lot going on. I have all these projects. I don't have the energy, even though we know we'll feel better if we exercise. Sitting too long, poor diet choices, social isolation decreases BDNF. It literally immatures the brain. So being social with the right people. I mean, you all are right here, right now. This is like one of the best choices I think that you've made all week is by attending something like this because it's life-changing to know these things. I'm going to keep going. So what's key is that peacekeeping technique we talked about and that we did in the summit meditation. So after you exercise, after a stressful experience, it is critical to spend, and again, this is based in neuroscience, it takes 3 minutes. It can take 3 minutes for the brain to switch between sympathetic to parasympathetic. So you can do a 5-7 breath. This is called a transition breath. And we'll do it right now. Breathing in for 5 seconds. Exhaling from your nose for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing in from your nose, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out from your nose, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Two more times. Inhale from your nose. Exhale from your nose. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming away from stress, coming away from being on autopilot. The only way to be off autopilot is by doing something obviously voluntarily that'll bring you out of autopilot. It's kind of an ironic statement. We know that breath work, specifically the 5-7 breath, visualization, the eye technique that we did, that's called the basic technique. That's proven to help the body switch between stress, non-stress states. So in implementing these at the end of your day, at the end of your workout, will improve your recovery, will improve your ability to retrospect, to interocept, to feel your body again. Because being on the go, 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 we become very disconnected from our body. So these are all really important to do when you get to the summit. The summit is being in that state of higher awareness, being up high. Doing this peacekeeping technique brings you back into your body while you're in this state also. So you don't reach the summit and not realize that you're there, because 60 days from now, you could be the person that you want to be and not even realize that you've, or not acknowledge that you did it. And acknowledging that you did it is everything. It is everything. It's the only way that we continue to evolve and move forward, is affirming new beliefs. So you also use words. Words are like the hieroglyphics of our society. When we read words, we see images and we feel emotions, just like hieroglyphics have all this meaning from one symbol. I am limitless, capable of achieving the impossible. These are all words, but they have a really large emotional response in our body, to our subconscious mind. So using these affirmations throughout the process is key in order for change to happen, for an evolvement of the self to happen through the physicality of your body and also through your brain, because they're one and the same. What you believe changes how strong your muscles are. If you believe that you're strong, we witness this when we measure muscle fibers activity. More muscle fibers are recruited when a person thinks the word strong, strong, and sees it in their mind. When they see the word weak, weak, they recruit less muscle fibers. We know as humans that we're very responsive to language, to word. And that's why when you're exercising, when you're training, how you're talking to yourself is very important, because BDNF is high, so your brain is vulnerable. And also you're exercising. So whatever you're talking about, you're associating with exercise. So use that upward language. So I'm going to stop there. There's a lot of pieces in here that we could go down deeper into. I'm going to open it up to see if you have questions, and then also any